When you look at me like that, I get really nervous.
What did I do?
You looked at me over the top of the hype. Kids brought me in some packages that got delivered, and I'm pretty sure they are my new set of cloth diapers. Yay! These are flat folds. I never ever thought that I would cloth diaper in a bus. I don't know if I thought I'd cloth diaper ever. But diapers were just getting really expensive. Like really expensive. And these are not exactly cheap for setup, but even though I plan on this being my last baby, famous last words, it's still saving us money to buy cloth diapers and do that even now, even when he's over 1. So, new pack of covers and flat folds. I'm just going to explain how I do this. Cloth diapering is something everybody has to figure out for themselves. It can be a challenge. I avoided it for a long time, mostly because everybody had their own opinions on what worked best, and they were all so different. And I didn't want to waste a lot of money trying to figure out what I liked. So I just avoided it and stayed with disposables. But disposables they're not good in a lot of ways. They're expensive. They're also really wasteful. They don't break down and they don't burn. They're not great for a lot of reasons. I still use them when we're going out. I do not cloth diaper when we're going out. I just don't have the patience to carry a wet bag and all that with me to keep dirty diapers in. And I don't really want to come home with a bunch of diapers that I have to scrub out at the end of a long day. So when we're in the bus, when we're around the bus, or going out for a short trip where I'm probably not gonna have to change a diaper, I will put Levi in cloth. And if we're going out for the day or a couple days or taking a trip in the van and not on the bus, I use disposables. And anytime that I'm stressed out or having anxiety, or that somebody else is changing him and I just can't get to it right then, we just use disposables. It's not something I want to stress about. Maybe when I was younger I would have been a little more like hardcore, but it's a choice I'm making and I like that I'm doing it, and I don't want to stress myself out about it and make it miserable. So cloth diapering in a bus is a bit different than cloth diapering in a house. Most people say that when you have solids, they take their diaper and they dunk it in the toilet and it gets all the solids off. This is what I hear from so many people, the magicalness of dunking in a toilet. Well, I have a potty bucket that has sawdust in it. That's what we have. So there's no dunking in that toilet, which means what I have chosen to do is buy disposable liners for my cloth diapers. They come in a roll and I just keep them in a big bag and they just rip off. So that's one, and it's just a little liner. And so I fold up my flat folds and I put it in the middle, and most of the solids are gonna land on that. If I forget to put in a liner or choose not to because I'm being lazy, then what I have to do is scrape the solids off into the garbage can and then scrub by hand to get any stains out, which is a hassle, but it's something I've chosen to do at this time. I don't make anybody else in the family do that. It is my job. So if somebody else is gonna change a diaper and they don't wanna deal with that, they can use a disposable. Hopefully that doesn't gross anybody else out. It's just a fact. That's just what we do here. I started using a pocket diaper with inserts, and ultimately I just wasn't super pleased. We had a lot of leakage, especially at night. I have a friend that always loved flat folds, and so I contacted her and asked her, and she thought they would do better for nighttime for sure. And I wasn't sure it was something I could handle at the time, but I bought a few just to try, and I actually love them. So now I will use flat folds all the time with these diaper covers. These ones don't have the fleece lining inside, they just are like a PUL. So I just put these and use a snappy to hold them together. I'll show you how I do that in a bit. And then I put the cover on, and then at night I will use a flat fold with one of the bamboo inserts. almost never get leakage anymore at night, which is great. That was my biggest stress. I tried it, but I have not had enough to full-time cloth diaper because I just wanted to make sure I liked it. I didn't want to spend too much money, and I'm pretty confident now, but I don't have enough to keep doing it. I'll do about a day and a half and then I run out of diapers, and I only wash about every 2 to 3 days, so I needed enough to get me at least through 3 days. So hopefully this is enough now with another set. They all have to be pre-washed, otherwise they are not very absorbent. So they need to go through 2 to 3 washes before they're fully absorbent. I will probably just wash them once. What happens when I take them off is typically I actually am gonna rinse out every diaper because I just worry about the ammonia buildup, which can be a problem when people strip diapers and they use bleach. I have no intention of ever using bleach on my diapers. That's not a thing. I don't own bleach. So there's no bleach in my bus. And so I needed to figure out a better way. And it's just the ammonia buildup. So flat folds are pretty easy to wash because they're so thin. These inserts are quite a bit thicker, and that's where you're usually going to deal with the ammonia buildup in these. So all of these in the morning when I take it off, I just rinse it. I'll run it under water and wring it out a whole bunch of times till there's no smell left in it. And then I do that with these as well. If there are any stains in the flat folds, I will just put a little bit of water in the bottom of my sink with the plug-in and some soap and let it soak for a little while and then scrub out the stains. That sounds like a lot of work to some people, but right now it doesn't seem like as much work as I used to think it would be. He's more of a toddler now, so not quite as hands-on for me. He gives me a little bit more time to do that, so it's working well. So I'm gonna throw these in the wash. So after I rinse them, I just throw them in this bucket. It's kept on the back of the washing machine. They sit in here until I'm gonna do my next load of laundry. And because they're fully rinsed, I'll actually just throw them in with my other clothes typically. I do hang dry them though, so I have to do my laundry early enough in the evening because my washing machine takes about 7 hours to wash and dry because it's a 2-in-1. I will turn it on just as I'm putting the younger kids to bed, and then it'll go through the wash, and then once it's done the wash, I will stop it and I will pull out all of the diapers that I put in there and hang dry them and then turn on the rest of the load to dry. Right now, because I got this new pack and I got already a bucket full, I'm gonna do a load designated just for the diapers, and then I'll show you how I hang dry in my bus so that it doesn't take over our whole bus. So my washing machine actually has a sanitary cycle on it, which is specifically for cloth diapering, which is great. It heats it up, I think, to 95 degrees Celsius. I have no idea what that is in Fahrenheit, but basically almost boiling temperature. And it will kill yeast and any other bacteria that are in your diapers. You're not supposed to run them through that cycle regularly because it will cause your diapers to break down much quicker. So I don't want my diapers to break down quickly. They're expensive. That's why I rinse them out, so I don't need to run it very often. I am gonna run it today just because it's a load with only the diapers in there, so it's a great opportunity to run it through that cycle, and then the brand new ones, just in case from the factory anything was on them, I'm gonna run it through that sanitary cycle, and then I'll take them out and hang dry them when they're done.
You happy now? Are you happy now?
Okay, don't let it move.
Uh-oh, someone farted.
Stop spitting at him.
Someone farted.
Being a freak.
Hey!
So these are the snappies. They just have little grippies on them, but they're way better than the safety pin. Just stick it on one side. And then grab this little finger hold so you don't get your own finger gripped on that side. And then pull it down. And it holds it right where they need to be. And then I just tuck all these in so that there's lots of bulk around his legs so that there's no leakage. Jesse? Hold on. And then put this cover on. Snap it up. And that should be enough absorbency for the whole night.
Okay. Okay.
You want to make sure that your padding's all tucked in. These covers have these little leg gussets. So it has the elastic there and then a gusset, and it really helps with keeping down any leakage around the thigh. And he's ready for bed.